Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to VRML 2. I am your caster, Lockie11, and I am joined here today by a cameraman that I've never worked with before, but it's gonna be interesting to work with KitKatastrophe before. Actually, wait, no, I think I worked with her once with Sputnik before, but we have the game of Kadmon versus Request here, and they have got started already. They have just beaten me to it here, but it will be a bit of a missed disc there and recollected by Yamari. Yamari now slapping it down, and it is James picking it up. Not James on the back line now, bouncing the disc into the enemy half. However, it's going to be recollected by, oh, that name's going to be difficult to pronounce. Rilek? I'm going to go with Relak. Okay, Ren. Now with it, Ren trying to go for a duck, but not James. Going to deny that one now, not James. Going for a long clear into the enemy zone, and it will be a stack race. However, not James once again picking it up again, going for a three-point shot. And of course, not James. Going to hit that one perfectly and just plant that one in. And I believe it is now 6-0 already. We have started a bit before they did ready up, just before we were prepared for them, but 6-0 with 2 minutes already off the clock and 8 minutes left, and it is a huge lead to Team Kadmon already as Rilek comes with the disc to start with a long clear all the way into Kadmon's half, but it will be nearly recollected, just recollected by Gaming Tim. Gaming Tim now over to Not James walking it up into his own bubble. Now Not James with the disc. Not James taking his time still in the enemy tunnel, and he will make an attempted pass over to Scripted, but it's just going to go a bit wide, but picked up by, I believe, Plymouth Rocks. And Plymouth Rocks now with a pass, but it's going to be intercepted by Relak. Relak now with a pass, but it's just going to bounce off the Geo and recollected by Not James, bouncing it to himself perhaps, and it will come straight back to him, and it recollected, however, by Ren. Ren with a beautiful steal, and it's going to come away with the disc, and they have cleared it into Kadmon's half, but it will be once again recollected by Scripted 9. Scripted 9 now taking his time walking it into the enemy half. He goes for a long clear into the enemy half, and it will be recollected maybe by Plymouth Rocks, and Plymouth Rocks now with the drive into the bubble and a three-point shot. Just gonna ding there. Bit of a brave opportunity there, going for a three-pointer, but it's just gonna go a bit wide. However, Scripted 9 coming away with the disc. Actually, just getting stunned there by, I believe, Ren Akami. Ren now with the disc. Ren going for a shot attempt maybe, but there is a goalie back there, and it will just bounce off the Geo. And it will be maybe Scripted 9 coming away with the disc. However, Relak with the disc. Relak now passing to Ren. Ren trying to drive through the bubble, but Gaming Tim in the bubble with that defense, and he will recollect the disc and try and clear it out. It will just come off the Geo and come into the hands of Scripted. And it looks like we've had a player drop from Team Kadmon, and maybe that will come at a disadvantage, and that might help Team Request to come back in this half. And they are 6-0 down, and with 6 minutes already. But I've been talking a lot. I'm gonna have a quick sip of water as we just calm things down with a little 3v4 here. And as I take that break, a three-point shot comes through, but it's just going to go a bit wide, and it will be recollected by Plymouth Rocks. Plymouth Rocks now pressured by that player from Team Request. However, a good pass over to Scripted 9, and they're not seeming to be scared by this 3v4. They are just running down the clock with their lead right now, and Scripted 9 with the disc. Scripted with another three-point shot, and that one's good. What a beautiful shot. He knows he can take those. He knows he can make those, and he does, and that puts Team Kadmon 9 points up with 5 minutes left on the clock, and he was not scared by the 3v4. His players were marked, but not going for a reset there, instead opting to go for the three-point shot, and the three-point shot he does go for, and he makes it. Now Relak running out with the disc now. Relak with a long clear once again, and we see this joust from Request seems to just be clearing the disc and just trying to get it out into the enemy field and make something happen, but it seems like it's always being recollected by a player of Team Kadmon that's always holding back on the back line. I think it's Gaming Tim that's keeping in the goal, holding the back line for Team Kadmon. And it seems to be working for them as Team Request going for a lot of clears and often recollected by Gaming Tim on the back line. But now Scripted 9 with the recollect, and maybe the shot here just going to go a bit wide and out, bouncing off the Geo all the way back over to, I believe, sorry, is that Plymouth Rocks once again with this. Plymouth gets stuns out, however, by Ren Akami, and now it's in the hands of Yamari. How is that? Yamamori. I'm just gonna go Yamari. And now, Ren Akame with the shot. But once again, Gaming Tin is back there. But it's just going to be a bouncer. And that disc just fools there. The goalie there, Gaming Tin, just missing the disc there. And a bouncing shot from Ren Akame into the goal. And that will bring it to a 6-point deficit for Team Request with 4 minutes on the clock. Now, the first joust advantage for Team Kadmon. And they still are a player down, but they don't seem vexed by it. They're just keeping a man down and running down this clock. Not worried at all by this player deficit, but it will now be Plymouth Rocks with a pass over to Scripted 9. Scripted 9 with another one of his 3-point shots, and this one's just going to be a bit wide. However, once again, recollected by Scripted 9, and Scripted 9 with the shot into the goal, and that will put them up 8 points. Now it's 11-3 with 3 minutes and 40 seconds on the clock, and they have got their fourth player, Not James, back. And it seems that they've been doing really well without Not James, and maybe with Not James, they're going to get even stronger of a lead and keep just powering through. As a bit of a miss collect comes out, bit of a miss jousting, but it will just be a missed shot and saved there by the player of Team Request. And now, however, with it, Team Kadmon going for a clear, and it is into the enemy bubble, and Not James back in the game here, trying to recollect it immediately, but will be stunned out by Relec. Now, Ren with it. Ren passing it out, but it's just going to be bouncing off the Geo back into the hands of Scripted 9. Scripted 9 now with the disc. Scripted going for a long clear. It will just bounce off the Geo there all the way back into the hands of Yamamori. And Yamamori now with a clear out into the enemy zone, and it will just bounce back here off the Geo straight into the middle. Recollected by Plymouth, but it will be Tory Drive with a drive into a bubble, but it is a dinging shot, and that one is just not going to be driven through. But Ren now with a 3-point shot, and that one's good and flying into the goal. And this game, we're seeing loads of 3-pointers. Most goals here have been 3-pointers, and often it's against goalies as well, and maybe these teams need to sharpen up and pay more attention in goal and be ready for these backboard shots and maybe just straight shots sometimes, because often they're misplaced at the timings, and it's just giving them such a disadvantage and giving this game such a vast, gap of points because of these hard, heavy amounts of points that are coming through. But it will be Relec with the disc. Relec now in his own half, spinning around, trying to work the disc through the enemy zone, and he will get a long clear into the hands of Gaming Tin, once again holding the back line, recollecting all of those clears and doing a clear of his own. But this one's not going to be recollected by any time soon, but it is recollected by the enemy of Team Kadmon, but a bit of a stun there coming from Relec, and Relec slapping it out, but it is going to be recollected by Not James. Not James not having the disc though, going to bounce off the Geo and just lose the disc. Now, it seems like it will be Scripted 9 with the disc. Scripted battling out with his own teammate here. Plymouth Rocks with the disc, getting stunned out by Yamamori. Yamamori now with the disc, driving it through to the enemy zone. He goes for a long clear, and it will just bounce off the Geo, coming straight back into the hands of Plymouth Rocks. Plymouth Rocks now with the disc, with a long clear into the enemy territory, and it will come all the way back. Maybe a shot coming out here, but it is just going to bounce unfavorably and not go into the goal. Scripted 9 with the disc, trying to make a pass. It's trying to make a script here, going for a pass, but it's just going to be stunned out by Relec. Relec now with the disc. Relec maybe with a self pass here, and it's going to come back into his hands, and a long clear coming out. Not James trying to recollect that one, but it is just a bit of a weird bounce off the Geo, but Not James still recollecting it, dropping it however, and it will be in the hands of Yamamori. Yamamori however being stunned out, and it will be now Tory Drive now with the disc. Tory just stunned out by the player of Team Kadmon there, and it will be Plymouth Rocks with the disc. Plymouth Rocks now trying to make it clear up, but Yamamori now with the disc. Yamamori making a pass all the way over to Ren. Ren, however, stunned out, passing it to Not James. Not James with a long shot maybe, but it's just going to be a bit high, and it's bouncing all the way off back from the Geo, and another 3-point shot coming through here from Plymouth Rocks, and that will give the game to Team Kadmon as I take a bit of a drink of water here to relax my throat for a minute. And that will be a game to Team Kadmon, as definitely not many points are going to be scored now with these 2 seconds on the clock. But very interesting first round. I mean, most of the goals we've seen have been 3-pointers and some heavy scoring game. And it was 6-point lead at the start, just before any of us saw the game. But 2 3-pointers at the start coming through. And I know any of us didn't see that, but it did happen. And it seems like Team Kadmon just really controlling the pace of the game, really controlling the disc, and coming away with the victory and scoring a lot of goals and, as I said, a lot of 3-pointers. And those are often really difficult to score, especially against high-level players like this and players that are very experienced. But it seems like the scoreboard there, it will be Ren Akemi from Team Request getting all the points for his team with 6 points on his board, and Team Kadmon, however, with the points. 6 points for Plymouth Rocks and 5 points for Scripted 9. And I believe also some points from Not James. It might be 3 points from Not James as well, but that doesn't say on the thing because he did disconnect. And we saw a 3v4 that came through for Kadmon versus Request, but it didn't seem to vex Team Kadmon at all, and they just powered on through. Most teams we see going for a pause, but I gotta respect this team for just carrying on through and powering through with a 3v4, and they don't seem worried about it, and they kept the pace of the game, they kept the control, and honestly, they weren't too worried about having one less player to pass to. They just hit threes and they kept going for it, and it's been a great game. Not much high-level passing and cuts and stuff that we like to see, but it's a good game still because the 3-pointers that come through from these teams are just incredible. As I say that, the round 2 will come through, and it will be Team Kadmon coming away with the disc now. And of course, a shot from Plymouth Rocks, and that is a 2-pointer, and that one is in. Now, it is another joust advantage for Team Request, and Team Request here have lost a lot of momentum. This has been many unanswered points now from Team Request, and Team Request need to get some momentum going and need to get the game going. As a bit of a missed joust here, a bit slow coming out of the tubes there, but Rilek coming away with this. Rilek with a hard clear once again, and this QB that we're seeing from them has always just been clearing the disc out, and maybe they need to get some passing and try and keep possession of the disc, as we see Not James maybe glitching out a bit there and not recollecting the disc, and it will be Rilek with the disc. Rilek, however, stunned out by Not James, and Plymouth Rocks now with a clear of his own, but intercepted by Tory Drive, and Tory Drive now with another clear of his own, and just going to bounce off the Geo, and it will not be Gaming Tim recollecting this. However, it will be Ren Akemi recollecting this, stunned out, however, by Plymouth Rocks. Plymouth Rocks now with a clear all the way into Team Request's half, and it is a stack race all the way back, and it might be, I believe, no, it won't be recollected by Rilek. Rilek, however, eventually getting a hand on it as the player Plymouth Rocks doesn't manage to get that stun on Rilek there. But Scripted 9 may be coming away with the disc. He does come away with this. However, he is stunned by Ren Akemi. Ren Akemi now with a clear out, but Gamington on the back line, recollecting that one of his own. And it is a clear into the enemy half once again. And we're seeing a lot of clears in this game, and it's always being picked up, and it's not going in that advantage, but Plymouth Rocks! Plymouth Rocks! What a beautiful shot. He stuns out the player there. He gets the disc immediately and takes the shot almost instantly. And what a shot it was. And now we've got another joust advantage from Team Request. Once again, they need to get this momentum going as a bit of a missed grab there comes out. And Yamamori with the disc now. Yamamori trying to clear it once again, but Scripted 9 ready to recollect this one. However, stunned out by Ren Akemi. Now Yamamori with the disc. Yamamori trying to throw it out, but it will be maybe recollected by Scripted 9. Scripted 9 with a slap out of his own, going all the way up to Not James. Not James slapping out once again. However, recollected by Tory Drive on the back line. And once again, another player on the back line. Gaming Tim is chilling back there, and he will be recollecting that one of his own. Plymouth Rocks now. Plymouth Rocks with the disc and trying to get a long clear coming through, and it will be maybe recollected by Scripted 9. Scripted 9 with the drive into the bubble and a shot attempt, but it's just going to go a bit wide there. Maybe a bit of a missed opportunity coming from Team Kadmon there, and our Team Request gonna try and capitalize on this and get some points on the board as Gamington realizes he's not gonna get that one, and he backs it back out to the goal, and it will be in the hands of Gamington now, however, with a slap all the way into his own zone. And we see Gamington is really holding back this entire game and just holding the back line for Team Kadmon here. And Plymouth Rocks now with the disc. Plymouth Rocks with a slap out into the upper half of the G, bouncing off the G, and now Not James with the disc. Not James with a drive, maybe making a shot attempt, and it looks good, and it is good. Not James with a beautiful shot. He takes his time, he waits, he takes every bit of time he needs, sees the goal is open, takes the shot, and of course, he's gonna hit that one 3-pointer, and that is now 8-0 to Team Kadmon. Team Kadmon in such an advantage now, and they really do have this momentum going. This is now, in this round, 8 unanswered points, and maybe more, because Not James, as a bit of a missed QB comes there, and Not James recollecting. Not James gonna hit that one and put it right into Team Request's goal, and that is now 10-0 with 4 minutes passed and 6 minutes still left on the game. We might be seeing a mercy here. They are definitely on track, and if Team Kadmon can keep up this pace that they are doing and the strength that they have, they will definitely be mercying here. But hopefully we can maybe see Team Request getting some points here as Rilek upside down trying to get the disc into the bubble, but it is not James now with it. But yeah, I'd really like to see a round 3 and see something happen here. So I'm rooting for Team Request right now. I want them to get the rounds. I want to see a round, some hype plays, but as I say that, Plymouth now looking to add to his points, and Rilek now with a clear all the way into Team Kadmon's half. It will just bounce off the Geo unfavorably, and it is in the hands of Scripted 9. Scripted 9 now just take his time moving his way back and making a long clear, in fact, all the way, bouncing off the Geo unfavorably, and in the hands of Yamamori. Yamamori now with the disc, with a missed clear there, intercepted by Scripted 9. Scripted 9 with an attempted clear, but it is going to be in the hands of Rilek. And this is back and forth right now with the clears. It is cleared and once again recollected by the enemy hands, and there's another clear that's nearly recollected and is eventually recollected by Gaming Tim. But another clear coming from Gaming, recollected by Tori, and Tori with a drive into the bubble, and now Ren Akemi getting some points on the board for his team once again, and he's now scored 8 points all by his lonesome, and he's been playing the team's points. He's clearly the point scorer on his team, the finisher, as we might like to say. But he's definitely getting those points, as now we finally see the joust advantage for Team Kadmon, and it will be a rollout here. Scripted 9 with the disc. Scripted with a long clear, maybe a pass attempt, but it's just going to be a bit wide. However, it will be once again recollected by Not James. Not James now with the disc. Not James backing it out, trying to duke around Rilek, but Rilek not having any of that. He is going to get it. Now Ren with the disc. Ren with a clear down into the enemy half. Maybe recollected by Gamington here, who is almost hot on the disc tail, immediately stabbing it out. However, recollected, and the 3-point shot from Ren Akemi. Ren Akemi is there. And Gaming Tim just not taking his time with the disc there, maybe trying to get it slapped out as quick as possible, but Ren Akemi there on the back line, recollected, and the mail slot shot coming through, and that will put Ren Akemi to, I believe, it is 11 points he has scored for his team now, and he is definitely the point scorer, the shot, as we like to say, the right hand of the team. But it will be Not James now with the disc. Not James stunned out by Rilek. No, actually the other way around. James getting a stun on Rilek there and still holding the disc, still pushing into the bubble, and he's really trying to run down the clock and burn it out here. Not James with the pass all the way over to Scripted, and they're playing very patiently now, not trying to look for too many points, just trying to burn out this clock, and a pass comes through to Not James, and Not James with a spin shot, I believe, and Not James with a beautiful shot, beautiful pass coming from Plymouth Rocks. What identification of that open man, and great chemistry you can see in this team. It was an open pass. He saw it, not much time to be available, as he would have got covered straight after by the many players in the bubble of Team Request, but getting the shot out really quick there, but as a bit of a missed catch comes through, and Tori now with the disc, nearly getting stunned out by Not James, but not stunned out from Not James. Plymouth Rocks now with the disc. Plymouth looking for a drive into the bubble, and may slot shot of its own, but it's just gonna go a bit low and hit the shield there, and just bounce off the Geo, coming straight back into the hands of Team Kadmon. However, it's bouncing all the way over to Team Request as Tori drive with the disc. Tori drive, however, stolen by Scripted 9. Scripted 9 with a standing still shot, and that will put them to 14-5, 9 points now, up with only 2 minutes and 30 seconds on the clock. And now, this might be a very difficult game for Team Request to come back. They do have another joust advantage here, and it looks like their first player doesn't usually go for the disc, but in fact going for the stun on the stack there, and he does get that stun, and it will be just cleared once again into Team Kadmon's half. However, Plymouth Rocks now. Plymouth Rocks with this, passing it over, however, recollected by Ren Akemi. Ren Akemi just losing the disc to Not James. Not James just handing it over to Scripted 9 there. Scripted 9 now with the disc. Scripted 9 with his own clear, getting it all the way out into the enemy bubble, and now it will be Not James with the disc. Not James walking it back out. Not James taking his time there, just really burning out this clock, and there is only a 1 minute and 45 seconds. It's going to be incredibly difficult for Team Request to come back, maybe even impossible for Team Request to come back. However, they are going to try and get some more points on the board, and Kadmon also attempting to add to their strong lead. Have a bit of a headbutt there coming through maybe. Scripted 9 recollecting it once again. Good stack there, good recollect, but Scripted 9 maybe a bit pressured. But no, not James is going to be the one pressured. Stunned out by Yamamori there and losing the disc to the team request. However, another clear coming through. And Gaming Tin once again on the back line, recollecting almost every clear that comes through. And he's with a clear of his own right now. It's going to go all the way down over into the hands of Ren Akemi, but not James. Going to steal that one and drive into the bubble. Not very pressured here, but he's got that stack already hot on his tails back in the bubble. But Ren Akemi just not going to make the catch there, and it will be Tori Drive now with the disc. Tori being stolen from by Plymouth Rocks. Plymouth Rocks getting the stun on Tori Drive, and it's going to be in the hands of Scripted 9. Scripted 9 now making a long pass all the way up to Not James, but Not James just not ready for that one, and it's just a bit of a miscommunication or maybe a bit of a wide pass, but it is going to be in the hands of Ren Akemi. Ren Akemi now with the disc. Ren Akemi with a shot attempt maybe, but Gaming Tin once again on the back line, recollecting the disc and clearing it out once again, but bouncing off the Geo here, it will go back into the hands of Team Request. Ren Akemi, I believe, with the disc. Ren Akemi looking to add to his points, but it's just going to be a bit of a low shot there. Not going in, that one is. And Not James now with the disc. Going for a clear. We'll just bounce back into Scripted 9 hands off the Geo there. And Scripted 9 once again recollecting this. Maybe a self-pass there, being stunned out, however, by the player from Team Request. And a clear coming through here. Maybe a shot attempt, but it's just going to be stopped by Tori Drive and 5 seconds on the clock. That will be the game to Team Kadmon. But what a brilliant game we had, and that is 2 rounds to 0 for Team Kadmon, and they really just controlled the pace of the game today and had everything going for them. They controlled pace. 14-5 is just a very devastating win, a 9-point lead, and yeah, it was a brilliant game. But we see Ren Akemi getting most of the points here, and it was a fantastic game to watch. Definitely some different I mean, I've never seen these teams before. I'm an EU player myself. I've never seen the OCE times, and I've never actually casted an OCE game. This is my first one, but with that being said, Ren Akemi with 17 points. However, Plymouth Rocks matching him with 17 points of his own, and Scripted 9 with 12 points, and Not James with 7 points. I believe that was a 10 points actually overall, but the first round he was disconnecting, so he didn't get the first 3 points on the board. But Gaming Tim with 0 points, but he is not to be forgotten because he is always on the back line, always recollecting the disc and always keeping them the possession. And Kadmon really did have the possession here this game and really kept pushing into the enemy's bubble, and Request maybe making a few too many clears and not enough passes, as most of their clears were recollected by Gaming Tin and cleared back out into the enemy half, and Request just not being able to get enough points on the board to beat Team Kadmon, and that will be 2-0 for Team Kadmon. And I have been Locky11. Thank you everyone for joining me today on VRML 2 to see a very interesting game from the OCE side of things. I've been Locky11, and I've been joined by my cameraman and brilliant also OCE player KitKatastrophe, and thank you very much for watching. Have a great night, evening, morning, wherever you are.
Season 3 of VRML Echo Arena is brought to you by HyperX, Rebuff Reality, Asterion Products, ProTube VR, VR Cover, Fixed Gaming, and VRware.net.